Bill DeWitt, you've been in baseball for more than 40 years now. Is it possible for you to answer this question? Who is your favorite person in baseball?
Well, you know, early impressions, Cliff, are very lasting impressions. And my first contact in baseball was with a man named Mr. Branch Rickey, and I would have to say that he is my favorite because he gave me my start back in 1916, and I was with him for some 20-odd years, and he advised me and counseled me and caused me to secure the kind of an education that I was able to get, and what I learned about baseball, I've learned most of it from him.
Bill DeWitt, the other day I was over in St. Petersburg where the New York Mets are training, and the attitude there on the part of top executives of the ball club is, why can't some of the richer ball clubs, richer in talent, why can't they help us along so that we can be stronger on the field and draw more people in? What's your feeling on that?
Well, I've been in baseball, Cliff, as you said, for more than 40 years. And I've really never heard of one club helping out another club. This is sort of a dog-eat-dog thing. The competition is terrific for securing players, and it takes years to build up your minor league system, your scouting system, and for these players to develop. And then after they get developed, to me, it really doesn't make real good sense to say, why should we hand over 3 or 4 players to another club in our league to come out and beat us with? After all, we're trying to win as many games as possible, and the fact that we do have some talent on this ball club is, I think, to the credit of our minor league organization and our scouts. And I'm sure that the 2 new clubs in the league, the Mets and Houston, if they have good scouts and they work as hard as other clubs, they'll come up with some good ball players. They got to come up with some good ball players. But just to hand them out to them on a platter and say, here's a finished ball club.
Well, not on a platter, Bill DeWitt. Is it possible in this dog-eat-dog business of leaning over just a little backwards and turning over respectable talent?
Well,
$4 or 4 players on any basis at all.
Well, naturally, we're willing to make a deal if we have duplications of positions. And I've talked to, you mentioned the Mets, and I've talked to George Weiss on many occasions, and I've offered him quite a few players. But apparently the kind of players that I offer him aren't the kind that he's looking for.
Let me ask you something else, Bill. You know baseball inside out. You're one of the more knowledgeable persons in baseball. There have been so many changes in recent years. One change I want to ask you about, expansion. What's your feeling on that?
Well, I was glad to see both leagues expand, and I would certainly be in favor of seeing further expansion because with a 10-club league, the schedule doesn't work out too well for anybody. If we had a 12-club league and the American League had a 12-club league, we could have 2 6-club divisions, we could have a playoff, then we could have a World Series, we could even have interleague play. That to me would be a great thing for the people of this country because here in Cincinnati, when we're in Cincinnati, I think all the fans in that area are entitled to see not only the National League players, but also the American League players. So far as cities are concerned, I know that there are several cities in the United States that are capable of supporting Major League Baseball that have sufficient population, and I'm sure that if they had any intimation that they could secure a Major League franchise, that the city fathers would be very happy to build a very new and beautiful stadium.
As far as interleague play during the season is concerned, you mean for this to count in the won and lost columns, right?
Oh, absolutely. You'd want it to count right in your regular standings.
Now, as far as expansion is concerned, of course, years ago there was a time when the teams in the East, when they went west, that meant Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Now when they go west, they go out to the West Coast, San Francisco and L.A. How do you feel about 2 additional teams coming in, both from the West Coast?
Well, I wouldn't care particularly to name any cities, but when I was with the Minor League Fund, I made a survey of population areas in the country, and I found that there are certain areas that have a greater population than some of the Major League cities. And I'm sure that those cities are anxious to secure Major League Baseball. And just to name a few of them, there's Toronto and Buffalo, Atlanta, San Diego, Seattle, Denver, and I'm sure that, and even
That's the
Dallas.
big ones, Bill.
That's right. And Dallas-Fort Worth area, they've already passed a bond issue down there to build, I think, a $15 million ballpark.
Wasn't there a possibility of, well, do you think, Bill, that the following the football system of 6 and 6, would that make sense to you?
Well, I'm sure that would make a very sensible league, and the scheduling would be fine. We could go to 154 games, and it would work out real well for everybody.
Well, those are the views of Bill DeWitt, boss man of the Cincinnati Reds, and one of the more knowledgeable, one of the more respected persons in all Major League Baseball. This is Cliff Evans reporting from Tampa, Florida, the spring training base of the Cincinnati Ball Club.